welcome everyone. I am Glenda Dawson from Three Witches and a What. I have Mary Nunez and Marianna Hernandez with us today. We just wanted to, again, say thank you for all your emails, your messages, all of the blessings you have given us with your discussions and your feedbacks. We are all blessed just for you guys doing that and connecting with us. Today, I have these wonderful, wonderful ladies with us, and we're really going to discuss the code of ethics for spiritual people. Spiritual people, the ones that are teachers, the ones that are mentors, the ones that walk and talk and walk, not just talk, like so many other people in all different forms of life, in all different formats of life, where they just do a lot of talking and not following their actions, or not following it by actions. So, like we were discussing at one point a while back, Mary and Marianna, Reiki has code of ethics, very specific. And it's even says to be truthful. Basically, do your work, right? If you are hired to do something, don't say you're doing it and you don't. Or don't say you did it and you don't. If you are speaking to someone, don't speak with anger to them. Speak the best you can with kindness, with love, with discipline. Be the best that you can be. And I know for a fact that every single spiritual tool that we use, whether it be tarot, or whether it be meditation, or whether it be yoga, qigong, anything that we do in our spiritual practice has a somewhat of a code of ethics, whether it's written or unwritten, whether it is assumed or just, in front of you, like, all the signs. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Don't throw out jealousy. Don't, it's like so many different things. And basically, it comes down to honesty, integrity, and love.
That's it.
Right, Mary?
That's it.
Right, Marianna?
That's it.
Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but I am always being watched, and I don't have any problem being watched because I'm an open book. And it started out when I was very young. My parents taught me that integrity is the first thing you have to do. You have to be honest with yourself and everything you do. Why? Because you could sleep better at night. You don't have to worry about ever getting caught, or ever somebody watching you, or ever anybody judging you. And once that stain is in your soul, once that stain is in your character, it is very hard to wash it off.
That is true.
Like all these things, everybody's always asking me in my center, why aren't any of your certificates up? And I said, if I have to prove to you that I took that and I have the certificate, then you're not my student.
There you go.
And I'll go and I'll take it out of my filing cabinet, which the file is about this big now. Take out, okay, wait, hold on. I got to search. Oh, here it is, here. You see it? Okay, good. All right, get out, because that means you don't trust me. That's one thing I learned since I was a child, and I have ever since then made sure. I hear a lot of people, like with taxes, they stretch it And I'm like, oh, I want to be able to sleep. I don't want anybody knocking on my door. I got to pay. Okay, I got to pay. Here it is. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Okay, but no. I like to sleep. I like to sleep soundly and peacefully,
Mm-hmm.
and so unfortunately, I have met a lot of people who don't realize, for whatever it is, they may not appear as honest as they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
They may not, their energy is very different
Mm-hmm.
than what they say.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, even with my ex-husband, it's like, you do the talk, you better do the walk, because it's always, no matter what. And when they start not doing the walk, then I know it's starting to question things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm very particular about that. I know you girls are both, because when we sign up for anything spiritual, we sign up and we make a commitment. Now, Mary, you are certified in this beautiful school, right?
Right.
I know for a fact that they make you sign or agreed
Oh,
to
yeah.
be, honest and with integrity and the whole thing, because that's the code of ethics for any good school.
Correct. It's an accreditation.
Right.
When you get accredited, you have to have standards and
Mhm.
high standards. You not only you can expect, you can give what is expected, but in our world, in our truth,
Mhm.
we have to exceed
Mhm.
everybody's expectations. And the thing is, guys, that it isn't only an expectation of the humans that we are servicing.
Right.
It is the expectation of something much higher.
Mhm.
Because when the time comes that we're asked, well, what did you do with the life I gave you? When you are asked that, what are you going to say? You have to be prepared. You have to, and this, it like you said, when you started talking about Reiki, Reiki has a code of ethics.
Mhm.
Spiritual healing has a code
Mhm.
of ethics. Runes have a code of ethics.
Mhm.
Tarot has a
Mhm.
code of ethics. Everything has a code of ethics. My God, God has a code of ethics.
Yes. Yeah.
So who are we not to do that? And this is one of the things that when I teach in my school, I teach people, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. Because if you're thinking that this is what you should do,
Mhm.
and you do something else, you're not vibrating in truth and integrity.
Exactly.
So where do you have the biggest connection to truth and integrity? Well, when you are living from your soul,
Mhm.
you are actually living from your soul, not in your body. No, you are functioning in truth and integrity. You do that through your soul. If you're
Mhm.
able to move away from ego and you're able to go into your soul and live from there, then there is no question. You will never defy. You will not be the spiritual Judah, which is what I call people that are not in that on that path.
Right.
Now, of course, we all have the universe says, well, you go on ahead and you do whatever you want.
Right.
Because we still have those energies of whatever it is that we want, we're going to get.
Mhm.
It's at the end of it all, when we have gotten to that point and we are right in front of our creator and we have to account for everything, and we are recapitulating our lifetime on the earth and what we did and who we hurt, who we lied to, who we coveted, who we stole from. Get it?
Yeah.
Those are all in those beautiful 10 commandments that everybody talks about. It's all there. And as a spiritualist, we are the ones that go in, and we are the ones that are mostly held accountable, because we are those prophets and those helpers that were designed to come here and help.
Yep.
So once we stop doing that and we go into the body and work from the body with ego and with all these things that come up in our lives, that is where then it's like, you're coming back, dude, or you're just not coming back at all.
You're coming back, and you're getting real big karma and before the end of your life.
Correct. And that's why it's so important. Many times, one of the first things that I do is the first 15 minutes of a reading, I get to know my client. And if at the first 15 minutes I know there's something not right, where I'm listening to my people, and my people are saying, give the money back because this is not for you, I'm not going to make something up. I'm not going to switch it around and say, you know what you need? What you need is a healing. No, I give them right back their money. I go back to my cell, take it back, boom, put it back in the, I'm not your reader today.
Yeah.
I am not your reader. You need this kind of help. But I put your money back in. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people take. And that's not right, especially in today's time. Who the heck can afford a 1-hour reading at today's prices? Not a lot of people can.
No.
Healings either, and courses either. So we also have to understand what's going on, and not ever forget that whatever we need, universe got our back. It's coming in a different way, but it's coming.
So very true.
Yeah, but that code of ethics, we have to, if anybody, listen, we are dealing with people's mental health. So this scaring people, this stuff that I've heard that goes around, no, that doesn't work. So we're not only a reader, but we're also a therapist. We're also their mother. We're also their grandmother. We're that aunt. They need to heal.
Their best friend.
Their best friend. They're going to tell us more than they tell their own family.
Yes.
How dare we not be in truth and integrity?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, Marianna knows my classes, especially tarot, starts with code of ethics. I mean, I spent almost the whole class, and they were all like, okay, can we just go move on? And I just kept repeating because I wanted to make sure it was in there.
Astrology is the same thing, Glenda.
Yes,
astrology is the same thing. It's got a code of ethics.
Everything we do in life. If you are working at a job, it has a code of ethics. If I worked in law offices, we had a code of ethics. Once that client walks through that door, whatever they say to you, that stays in here. Whatever you see, even if you see things from your neighbors, your best friend, whatever, that you have to make believe you didn't even see that, because that is part of that code of ethics.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, it just, sometimes being human is hard enough.
Yes.
And sometimes we may slip. It's understandable, but once we get to that point where we know we're spiritual and we know, take responsibility, right?
Yeah.
At the end, if you take responsibility and you set the record straight, I believe that will be one way to remove that tarnishment, because we're all human. In one way or another, we're in this meat suit. So,
That's where we
you
are.
know, yeah. So I don't know. It's scary. It really is scary. And the part is that a lot of the people have not learned that. And readers, oh my goodness, on TikTok and all these places.
Oh my God.
But you know what it is, ladies? You know what it is? It's the scarcity part.
Yeah.
It's the fact, it's that I want to play the story for myself that I trust. I want to put on the persona that I trusted for my clients. And in fact, there's many, many readers that actually do an amazing, extraordinary job with our clients. And they do great things. They help them make decisions and they serve as a really good vessel. But when it comes to their own life and it comes to their own decision making, sometimes it's not the same. And that's also like a level of a subconscious, unconscious bias and an unconsciousness of feeling that scarcity, lack thereof, that distrust, that it's not in full surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, as much as we're still awakening record-breaking numbers and we're evolving as an entire human consciousness collective, that is one of those major, like, in tarot class, we call the major arcana lessons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just individually based, it's collectively based, especially in the last 6 years. And more so even in this year, it's being brought about and unearthed, almost like exhumed from the ground, from ground up, from the DNA strands, from that root chakra, from the sacral, from the solar plexus, where it's like it's bringing forward that major stumbling block in the evolution of humanity about trust, about surrender, and about being honest. You know what? The hardest thing, in my day, I've always been taught the hardest thing is being actually truthful to yourself. It's easier to come up with a lie. It's easier to put something out there to someone else because you don't go home with them to face it, but you're the one that has to look at yourself in a mirror. And if you don't look at yourself in a mirror just once in your life and ask yourself the question, is this really me? I mean, okay, I may be putting out certain things out there. Okay, that's fine. I'm comfortable with that at this moment. Eventually I will grow, I'll evolve. I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. That's
Me
just,
too.
I've been called naive many, many times, but I'm learning to, that's my major lesson. That was that, sometimes it's my strength, but it's also my biggest downfall and weakness. And I'm working on it as a human. And I'm okay with that. I'm not ashamed to say it because I'm human and I'm divine. And as a human, I am working with myself to say, okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, this is what I'm willing to work on. And once I start acknowledging that, I can go into that path of healing. I can grow into a much better human. And I'm be honest, trust and surrender. And that honesty with self, that I'm one of those people that have always struggled with that for many of the time in my life because I always felt like I had to play a role until the awakening journey. And then the awakening journey really kind of said, hold on. let's take a look in the mirror. Kabbalah teaches there are seven, I believe seven, right, Glenda? The 7 mirrors you have to go through, almost like, Mary Magdalene and the demons, but the demons, they weren't really demons. It was like almost 7 stations of things that you had to go through as a human in a human condition to overcome jealousy, greed, power, control, judgment. These are all things that every single human, even if you're the biggest guru, the biggest Buddha, every human on this planet, whether now or the 1940s, whether 3,000 years ago, has gotten through a moment where they had to sit there in front of their own mirror image and ask themselves, is this really me? Is this me, the persona I put out to the world? That when I close that door and there's nobody near me and the only one watching me is God, am I honest then? Is God going to turn around and tell me, and ask me a question. Are you being honest?
Mhm.
Oh my
Because
God.
if that is still in my cortex, I say that to myself every day. If that is still a role I am playing, God, show me the way. Show me my truth. That
Mhm.
way I can take my truth and put my truth out to the world.
Mhm.
Because I bet that the moment I do that, I trigger someone else, and then they trigger someone else, and then it becomes a domino effect, and people start to awaken. Because what is really the awakening journey? What is it that we're all striving for? We're looking for a man on a horse to come and save us as a planet. I mean, let's be honest. Are we looking for a group to come get us on a big giant ship? Well, come on, let's be honest. We're the ones we've been waiting for.
Yes, we are.
You
And
know,
we
we
are
have
coming.
right. And
We
you
are
know,
arriving.
I never forgot when I was in high school, when I was 15 years old, they talked about the Aborigines people in Australia.
Mhm.
And I've always had the utmost respect for them.
Yes.
Because while we as a society and all these civilizations have always had rules and discipline and that and ethics, and is extremely important, they're one civilization, one origin of a population that never needed any set of rules. They have it innate. And they talk about that proudly, that they know. And that's what we're all gearing towards, that moment of us saying, we know. Yeah, we know. Most of us do know, okay, this is right, this is wrong. Nothing is right or wrong. It's how we perceive it to be,
Right.
Exactly.
right? But as a collective, it's sad still. You're right, Glenda, to see that.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm actually in the playground today. I came to sit down in the playground
Love
where
it.
I used to raise my kids when they were young. And I'm looking at all these beautiful children, right? And it, you know, I pray for every child on this planet. I pray for every human on this planet. I extend my love to everyone, because I say, if we all geared and kind of intended on putting out the truth of our own life, what
Mhm.
our soul source, our higher self, our oversoul, our monad, our God source gave us, that knowledge, that wisdom,
Mhm.
you know, and that's what the Shekhinah was teaching us all along in the lost teachings of the Shekhinah and divine wisdom of Sophia, right? If we all tried to do that, then this would be a much, much better world, because then we could all face ourselves and we could all face each other.
Mhm.
But we're working towards it. It is a
Absolutely.
work in progress. And that's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we have witnesses
Right.
all around us and all around us.
Right.
Okay. Like Glenda says, I'm always being watched. We are being watched.
Mhm.
Listen, we talk a lot about the DNA. We talk about the memories and the trauma. When you are not in alignment with truth and integrity, you're not in alignment with the universe, its laws, its wonderful balance, and also what it wants for us to follow,
Mhm.
we create trauma.
Mhm.
And of the deepest. So we have to stop creating not only trauma, but drama. We don't need that. We can save it for our mama, because it's not, because we don't need that. And we have to start moving more towards, if we really want to cleanse that DNA, if we really want to walk in that fine line, there's a reason why the scriptures talks about, and you know this, Marianna, the thin path.
Mhm.
It's the narrow path and then the wide path.
Yeah.
Okay, the wide path is because you're carrying your baggage, your lies, your ego. It takes too much space. Yet the narrow path only has you.
Mhm.
And truth and integrity in that narrow path, that thing's going to shoot like an arrow, and you're going to get to where you need to get to. But
Mhm.
that's why you're being given a narrow path and a wide path. And the wide path is actually going to take you longer, because you have to take with you all that heaviness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, it's no different if you're a spiritualist. We're not special. We're not the chosen ones. We're not. We
We're
are
not-
a conduit.
We're not given the free pass.
We don't get a free pass. As a matter of fact, we get the hardest.
Yeah.
We get the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Because many of the really good ones are sick.
Mm-hmm.
They are going through hell in their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Their families are going through hard times.
Mm-hmm.
They themselves are going through financial issues and all kinds of issues. Because again, they are that wonderful funnel that
Mm-hmm.
is cleansing and moving.
Right.
What do you call that little fish in the fish tank that it's like a sucker, and he sucks on the fish tank, and he's the one that cleans everything?
Yeah.
I forget the
forgot.
name. I call it a sucker fish. So that's what we are. So
Yeah.
we really have to be very careful. If we're all professing about DNA and the importance of this and the important,
Got to start here.
At the heart center. May I add that?
the heart
At
center.
the heart center. Not
Because
some
we-
space, right? Not some spherical space outside of our bodies. Start at the heart. Drop into your heart
Mhm.
and let it go from there. Because logic can only take you but so far.
Mhm.
Correct.
Mhm.
But heart has its own intelligence
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
and
Yes.
can take you everywhere you need to go. Because as I always said, once I began my journey, and I used to have that at the high tides of the pandemic, I never forgot that. I used to have this little tiny little flyer I printed out for myself. Somebody did that on Facebook one time, and I kept it. And I printed out, and it said, "The only way out is in."
Mhm.
And it showed the passage to the heart.
Mhm.
Because once we go from the heart, once we reach ourselves and others, anyone we come in contact with, any experience we have, any relationship we have, any situation, even the most dire situation, seemingly dire, that you just cannot find the light, and you lose that meaning. You feel like a boat lost out there in the ocean, and you lose the meaning of what life is all about.
Mhm.
Yes.
Go into your heart, because that's the only way out. It's not outside of us.
No, it's
It's
inside.
inside of us. And it's not some cliche statement, because believe us, the three of us have been through the mill in our lives. We speak what we preach and we practice it. And that's just a small little tidbit from our own wisdom,
Yep.
from our own teachings, that in order to find ourselves, in order to find the true meaning of our own life, we have to go inside of us, because that is where all the intelligence, all the divine wisdom is located. And if we just go there and be open and be receptive and be honest with ourselves, that
Mhm.
is how we reach that. Because Metatron always said to me, in dreams, in visions, and in scrying, a breath is only a transition between dimensions. And if we are honest, and if we are open, and if we are receptive, we can cross in and out of dimensions
Yes.
to finding our own path and finding our own origin and our own truth of who we are.
Absolutely.
And
Oh
with
my God.
that,
Beautiful.
that's beautiful. Thank you. We're going to close right there because there's no need to say anything else. That was perfect. Thank you, everyone. We wish you well. Many blessings. We love you all. Bye.
MH Cares is a complete emotional and spiritual care provider. We have the tools you need for your emotional and spiritual well-being, bringing together conventional and New Age psychotherapy modalities. Call us today and find out for yourself. If you're looking for a sign, this could be it. MH Cares. We show you how to master your harmony.